Hello?
Oh, hey, oh. What's happening, everybody?
Hello.
Hello, it is Sunday live haul. We're back. We took last week off. You weren't feeling well, but I think I'd already said that we weren't going to do the show because we had a bunch of stuff to get ready for this week, a lot of stuff to do around the house. We had a little visit from some eBay people on Thursday, which was really cool.
We did. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
So we needed to do like just get some things in order and
listen, you all know what it's talking. You all know what we mean. When you have visitors coming to your house, when you have inventory all over the frickin' place because nobody's been here in weeks, right?
Well, and not just visitors, but visitors who want to come into your workspace. So it's not like
they wanted to see our operation. Let me tell you, I can't hide it all behind a closet door when I have to open said closet door, right?
Yeah, because we're pretty good at putting on the illusion of our home being in good order when, just regular guests come over. No, sure. Generally, our house is fine, but it's just, we did have some, like I had, stacks and stacks and stacks of shirts and just everything that needed to be put away and stuff like that. But anyway, welcome to the show. It's Sunday. This is our Sunday Live Haul show. We're on 196. We're like inching closer to that 200 mark, at which point we'll do nothing special other than have a regular show.
Right. Almost at 200 Sunday Live Hauls.
I'm Katy. This is Vikki, a.k.a. Victoria, when she wants to be taken very seriously.
It's true.
A.k.a. my fiance for 26
more days.
26
we
more
get
days.
Married in 27 days, guys. 27 days. Okay, we've been together for over 5 years. By the time we get married, we will have been engaged almost 5 years. Almost 5 years. Yeah, I mean, nothing like...
I mean, we got engaged quick, and then we were like, let's just have a real long engagement. But you know what? We're beating Casey.
It's true. Casey,
I think Casey's been engaged. Well,
step your shit up, Casey.
I think they've been together for like over 10 years, haven't they? And
yeah,
they've been engaged.
It's been a long time.
I don't know when they got engaged, but so Casey, you better get it together, okay? Kate, he has no excuses.
None.
Anyway, thanks for coming to the show. This is our regular show on Sundays. We break it up into 3 parts. First part, we look at our numbers for the last week, which yours are looking a lot better. Yours are looking like
mine actually look normal.
Second part of the show, middle part of the show, we look at some sales highlights, some stuff we sold that we think is interesting or educational, and then the last part is we do a haul. We have not a ton of stuff to share with you today, but we each have a little stack.
Yeah, we have some stuff still. I went to the bins twice in the last week.
You did.
I went once with Jody. I think we went Friday or Saturday last week. I can't remember which day it was. I went with Jody, and then I went again on Friday and met up with Dana and Corey. So we had some thrifting, some sourcing done.
Rural squirrel popping in while driving. What?
No typing and driving, Kristen. Drive safely. Yeah, so we've had a busy week. So we can talk about it a little bit. So first of all, yes, we're getting married in 27 days. We have about 75 people coming in from all over the country, which is amazing. So thank you for that. There have been a lot of people that have asked if we're going to be filming it. Yes, we are going to be filming it. It is not going to be live streamed. I'm sorry. I love you all, but that's tacky as shit.
It's not tacky. We just don't want to deal with it. There's nothing tacky about that. Give me a break.
So yes, we will be filming it, and sure, we'll share it. We'll probably post it on the channel for anybody that wants to see the ceremony itself. But we, and then other people have asked, like, listen, I'm 47. We don't need anything. But people have asked that want to like send gifts or whatever. We'll have a link. We'll put the link below. But we're just doing like a honeymoon registry. And we're going to
tell me that. I didn't put the link in there.
We'll put it after. Okay. And if anybody does want to send a gift of any kind, anything that we receive, we're going to actually be donating a portion of the monetary gifts that we receive to my favorite charity, which is the Phoenix Society, which works with burn survivors all over the world. So yeah, that's it. So we just want people to know, like, obviously, our gift is the fact that we have so many amazing people coming to share our day with us. And we're actually, finally getting married, before anything changes and it's not legal anymore,
I think we're going to be okay. But anyway, as we were saying, we did have some eBay people come. Honestly, like I think they're just going around visiting with sellers, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of exciting because it was actually like some of the higher level like executives that came, which was interesting. So we had like 6 eBay people in our house. And but yeah, they were just visiting a few other sellers in the Las Vegas area, and so
we don't know who else, by the way, so I don't know.
Yeah,
if you were one of them, let us know.
Yeah, but they carved out a little bit of time of their day to come and check out what we have going on here, and so yeah, they came and looked at kind of our whole operation, like our inventory, our shipping, where we do our photographs, our listing, all that kind of stuff. And just asked us lots of questions. We got to ask them questions. We got to tell them some concerns. We talked to them about a few things.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So it was Rebecca Michaels, who is the head of the seller community. She's the seller community liaison. But then we also had like senior vice presidents. We had people that were in charge of the tech, and somebody that was in charge of like I don't even know.
I don't remember what
titles. I don't know their titles. But these were not peons, let's put it that way. And none of these people have really ever meet sellers. And this is the first time they've done this. I don't know what prompted them to ask us. I'm glad they did. But we were able to, obviously, I put a post in our groups, but also like we were able to talk about some of our concerns and some of the same concerns that we have, that all of you have. Of course, we all know immediate payment, blah, blah, blah. We also, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not happening anytime soon. Based on the information that we received back about the issues that they're having with making it work, it's not happening anytime soon. I don't care that they've been promising it for 2 years. It's not happening anytime soon.
It's happening with some, but it's a process.
It's a process, and I don't know what the issues are, but it is what it is.
There's nothing we can do.
So we talked about unpaid items. We talked about glitches. We talked about the search and how bad the search is. They asked, they wanted to know. They took a lot of notes. We were kind. We didn't bash anybody. You don't have to bash people to give them reality checks. And they were very open to hearing about it. And also none of this was surprising. They do know that there are issues with search. They do know that there are issues with item specifics. They do know that you can go in and search your item on incognito mode based on your entire title of your item, and it's still not come up. So they realize that there are these issues. Do they know how to fix them? I would assume if they knew how to fix them, they'd be fixed.
Yeah, maybe they were. So the big one that I addressed with them that I thought was very concerning was around managed payments and what happens when a buyer opens a case with their bank, like does a chargeback, or sometimes, I know some of you, this happened to Liz recently. If they open up a case and say, they don't recognize the transaction, they open it up with their bank. Well, we're supposed to be protected, right? We're supposed to be protected by eBay, and it's not supposed to be an issue. If you mail it, if you ship it to the address that eBay gives you on the order, and then it shows deliver, you should be like done with that whole transaction. And the reality is, for some people, what will happen is they'll notify you that this is going on, and then they kind of make you wait around while they hear back from the bank. And I really think that shouldn't even be part of the process. You should be out of the loop at that point.
Once you've fulfilled your obligation.
Right. But, Liz had an issue where this was back in September. This was back before eBay Open Online even happened. She had a case open against her for a pair of ski pants. It was like $275. And they said they didn't recognize the transaction. The money was put on hold in her account for about 30 days. And then it was released because they can't hold it any longer than that. But then literally a week and a half ago, they said that the bank had decided in the buyer's favor, and that money was taken from her account on eBay. It was ridiculous. So she called, and they were like, oh, you need to appeal this. And then later in the day, it was reversed, right? So yeah, in the end, the right thing was done, but it was how confident can you feel that that's going to be the truth every time?
Exactly.
And why should you have to go through that process? And what if it was an even bigger transaction? What if it was the day before Thanksgiving or the week before Thanksgiving, and you need to buy things for your dinner and all?
Well, and $275 or $20, it doesn't matter. Everybody is at a different level in their sales. Whatever history of business, $275 for me 5 years ago would have been whether I was going to be able to make rent or not. And I know that I'm not alone in that. $20 here or there, okay, whatever. We all end up eating that in this business,
right?
But it really shouldn't matter if you are like Katy said, if you're like a single mom relying on that money to go and make and buy groceries for your kids, and it suddenly puts you in the negative by $300. I mean, that's a big frickin' deal.
Yeah.
So, we want to I think all of us want to make sure that we're protected the way that it says that we're supposed to be.
And I told them, I said the bottom line is it fills people with a lot of anxiety and concern, and you just don't feel safe. You don't feel like you can be confident that you're going to be taken care of. And
a lot of people are really afraid to sell big ticket items because of that.
Right. And they seemed, very concerned and honestly a little surprised. And they talked about there are some issues that, some loopholes that need to be closed and stuff like that. So I think that they really heard what I was saying.
At least about that issue.
Well, because I think that specific issue is very problematic.
And it's fixable.
Yeah, it is fixable. And there's literally no reason for us to even be in the loop with the whole bank issue. Like none of that we shouldn't even know about it. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it should be, you upload it's the same thing as an item not received. If a customer says that they haven't received an item, the moment you upload the tracking that shows the item is delivered, whether it was delivered to the wrong address or not, it's no longer your problem.
Yeah, as long as you sent it to the correct address.
You did your job. The money is released. It should be the same type of thing.
Yep. But, so anyway, I do want to give a shout out to Allison, who is in Australia right now, watching us in the future on Monday. It's like some black magic shit going on there.
And Joe and Nicole, I'd flip that. Thanks for popping in, guys. It was an interesting. I mean, we're always honored that anybody asks us for our opinions about anything, really. But the fact that they sent all these people here and they met with us for 90 minutes, no topic was off the table. We were told, bring any concerns that you or the community feel that you have to the table, and we did. And they answered, and nobody was holding back. They owned quite a bit of some of the issues that are happening. Like, I feel like there was definite acknowledgement that this stuff was happening. The one thing that we stressed to them is something that has actually gotten better on the site is that when there is an issue, eBay has been better. They're still not fantastic, but they've been better about communicating that there are issues right in Seller Hub.
We love that there's announcements
issues and glitches and announcements that are a little bit more up to date. That was something that we really like, but we also want them to continue and be even more upfront about. For those of you that might remember, like Glitchapalooza, with the Picturepalooza, we talked about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And how even if you do not have an answer, if there is an issue on the site and you're aware of it, make sure that you communicate it to others, because we don't expect them to fix everything immediately, right? That would be nice, but we realize that is not always going to happen. Yeah. But acknowledge that, hey, we realize that some of you might be experiencing X, Y, and Z. We are aware of it and we are working on it. We will update you when able to. That goes so far. So, I know it goes that type of customer service and communication works in every industry, right? We just want to be heard and acknowledged when something goes wrong. I think whether somebody screws up your order, if it's a waitress, or if, whatever it is, if somebody acknowledges that there's an issue, acknowledge is half the battle.
When it comes to business dealings, it's never going to go perfectly with every transaction you deal in, whether it's online, in person. But to me, what really makes a difference is how they handle mistakes or how they handle issues. And we were able to also give them like good feedback, because we didn't want to only pile on all the things that we're dissatisfied about. So we were able to talk to them about how, we love offers to buyers. Like, that's one of the best features, at least for my business, and I know for yours, being able to send offers to buyers. Also, the changes they made in store levels, that was huge. For years, we wanted a different store level that was between,
Anchor and Premium.
Anchor and Premium. And the way they adjusted it and changed it made a huge difference. So we were able
saved me $230 a month stepping down from Anchor.
Absolutely. And we also let them know, that they're still number one when it comes to their involvement in the community. And that's just a fact. We don't have the access or the relationships with anybody from like Amazon or Etsy. You just don't get to have that kind of interaction. And so we do really appreciate that we actually get to interact with people that work for eBay, and that they do listen, and they're always looking to get involved. And that's why they had such a big presence at the Remix last year and this year even more, because they do want to be out there in the community and getting to know sellers and talking to them. And we do appreciate that.
I agree with that, Lori. They do need a current technical issues page like List Perfectly has. I mean, maybe not exactly the same, but yes, I agree with you. That should be something that is communicated on that front page on your Seller Hub, where the rest of the communication is, and they should talk about it. And that was one of the things that we said. So,
All
right. So I don't know what was heard, but I do want you guys to know that we listen, and we have our Facebook group, and we have this channel, and we have our We're in other Facebook groups that are not ours. So we do see everybody's concerns and issues and bitches about stuff, really. And some of it is something that nobody has control over. But when it is something that, they can fix, if it was something big and affecting a lot of people, we absolutely brought up a lot of stuff. I mean,
for sure.
I don't know what that's going to do, but they can't say they're not aware anymore. So there's that.
All right, let's get into our show. Now that we've kind of gone over all of this stuff, let's look at our numbers. I'm gonna ease you guys into it with my sad, pathetic numbers. And listen, I know you're not going to be my sugar mommy. You don't need to say it again this week. I'm well aware. To be fair, not that you guys would know, but the last week when we didn't have a show, I actually had a pretty good week. I'm not going to lie. I had a pretty good week. And then now that I'm going to be sharing numbers with you again, they don't look great. But I've been listing like crazy the last couple of weeks, and I am seeing a lot more activity, and I am seeing some more action on some of my other platforms. Like Grailed was really pretty good for me this week. Etsy, I've already had a couple of sales today, so Etsy's definitely starting to.
eBay and Etsy are doing great for me. Poshmark, I don't know what happened. Ever since they fixed the algorithm issue that they said they were having, and they went and started with lives, my sales went in the toilet for now. Posh. But
I will say one of Vikki's biggest sale this week is she has to thank me for. So I'm going to take partial credit for that, for those numbers. But let's go ahead and look at what we got going on
first, right? That's mine.
Oh, sorry. Let me move that over. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and share this. Okay. So yeah, I mean, come on. Obviously I haven't been doing whatnot lately. eBay, only 11 sales. I have had some really good offers. A couple I've been negotiating back and forth on. I have one particular item that I'm just not willing to go below a certain price. So I definitely missed some opportunities for more numbers this week, but I'm still holding out. Etsy and Thrilling, I sent in a CSV with some more stuff, and of course now I'm selling more again, so I just need to be more regular about that. But 8 between Etsy and Thrilling, nothing on Instagram, no private orders. And then Grailed 8, Mercari nothing, so a total of 27. Real sad. Look at that sad eBay number, 681.97. Etsy and Thrilling 572.12, and then Grailed all by its lonesome $515. Pretty good for Grailed. Total gross sales $1,769.09. That's $69 is for you, Allison. So shipping $116.57. You can see the breakdown of my fees. My cost of goods $165, and my net is $1,287.81. Pretty sad, but I'm still feeling hopeful because I've been going crazy adding new listings. Yes, dear. What would you like to say?
I just wanted to answer Tracy's questions before you flip over there on the thing. So I stopped selling on Depop about 2 months ago. The reality is I listed on Depop for 18 months or so, and I had maybe 15 sales. So that is my reason why not to. It's not worth the time to do the cross posting. Even with a cross posting service, it still takes time to put the items up and then take them down when they sell on other platforms. So for me, that was not worth the time. I eliminated Depop. Depop has a lot of activity if you want to sell some funky vintage stuff that you're willing to let go of for $25, $30, $35 an item, because that seems to be where people want to, the price range people want to spend. And I don't sell items that cheaply. So it's not the platform for me. As far as Facebook Marketplace has always sucked. It worked really well at first when they first added shipping options a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago now it might be at this point. And I used it very frequently. And then about maybe October of last year, I stopped. I haven't listed anything on Facebook Marketplace in well over a year. And I actually deleted everything off there a few months ago. Same thing. Most of the items were not being seen. Everything would have 0 views. It was an exercise in futility, because whatever my account was, my stuff wasn't being seen. Yeah. So if you're putting up, good items like we do, and your stuff is getting 0 views, that means it's just not being seen. So what's the point? I think Facebook Marketplace has absolute potential, but until they expand that potential with an actual real platform and people monitoring that platform, and it's not ready. It's not ready, and it's just not worth my time.
There's a lot of little Debbie talk going on in the chat.
I know, apparently.
Yeah, Jody with her, I don't know, those gross Christmas trees that she eats, but
I love those too. I'm sorry, I'm with Jody on those.
I think it's Little Debbie's. Little Debbie, the one, is it Nutty Buddy or Nut?
Yes, what you like those Nutter Butters.
What are the ones that have the peanut butter and
the wafers?
Yeah, the wafer
Nutter Butters. Yeah.
Anyway, those are the only ones I like. Although I haven't had them in a while, so maybe I need some.
Yeah, and you know what? Depop is a sharing platform, and yes, I did have a bot for Depop as well as, Posh and Macari. I do have a bot that does the sharing and delist and relist for me for those platforms. So, even with that, it still wasn't worth it for me. So, no Depop. And Thrilling has shit the bed in the last 6 to 9 months too. So it is what it is. I've
had some good sales.
I'm very happy with my eBay and Etsy, and I'm actually going to finally add Grailed now that Grailed has added women's wear. So Grailed will be my next platform. I'm going to start in January with Grailed. Yeah. I just don't have the time to dedicate to it now.
But to get back to holiday snacks, more importantly, I'm all about the Reese's holiday chocolate things because it's a different recipe, different peanut butter to chocolate ratio. I have a whole I went to Sam's Club and I may have bought a whole case of the full-size Christmas trees and I have them hidden away because I have to hide them from.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, literally, because I have them hidden. But they are delicious. Now I'm obsessed with. They're really yummy. But anyway, so those are my numbers. My gross average sale price, honestly, I fell a little short because I like to hit 70, but it's still okay. I'm feeling hopeful for this next week, though. I've been going crazy. Here's the thing, though. I'm almost to the end of all my stuff from Colorado. I'm
about done, too.
I have one small batch that I need to do bleaching. It's mostly sweatshirts and stuff. I think I have 21 more listings I can do from my last batch. I just photographed 145 t-shirts. I'm down to my last 21 to list. And then I have maybe another 30 pieces. That was supposed to last to the end of the year, you guys, but that's how much I've been listing. So what are we going to do?
We got to go sourcing. That's what we're going to have to do.
Are we going to go back to Colorado or what?
I don't think we're going to have time before our wedding.
No!
I'm sorry, dear. We got to figure it out, but yeah.
No! All right. I might have to do
you may have to do a private buy.
A private buy with him and make
from video. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're getting married in 27 days. I don't have time to travel right now.
All right, guys. Now that we've looked at my sad numbers, let's look at some happiness. Check this out.
I actually had a decent week this week.
That's not a decent week. That's an amazing week.
It's a very good week. Even if you took out my one big sale that we'll talk about, it was still a good week. So I did 41 sales on eBay, 19 on Etsy. Etsy's been on fire this week. 5 on Poshmark, which is pathetic. I'm usually, up until a few months ago, it was 15 to 20 a week on Poshmark.
Pathetic.
7 on Macari for a total of 72 orders. So I feel like my Q4, or at least my numbers back from April, came back this week for the first time. So I did 3,400, 3,455 on eBay, 971 on Etsy. None of that was thrilling. 240 on Poshmark, 380 on Macari. None of that was whatnot, for a total of $5,046 in gross sales for the week. Now, let's see, $531 of that was shipping. I did have a lot of hard goods, and a lot of items going international this year. 410, just about 410 in eBay fees. Etsy, Poshmark, Macari, you see all the fees. My total cost of goods, $265, which, look at that, $265 cost of goods on 5,000 sales.
Crazy.
So I'm cheap, guys. I am cheap, right? So my total net, $36.58. My gross average sales price, $70. My net average sale price, almost $51. This was a damn good week for me. I don't expect that it'll keep up, but hey, it would be nice, right? I mean, come on now.
No, you did great.
We got a wedding to pay for, dang it.
It's true. It's true. Well, we already have that money socked away. More like we just have bills to pay.
Well, that too.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into our sales highlights. Starting with you, what do you got here? What's going on? Tell us about it.
So this is what you see there. It's a vintage trench coat jacket. I think this one came in a bulk purchase I bought from a wholesaler of jackets. I'm
Maybe.
almost
I don't know.
100% sure that was where this one came from. If that's the case, I averaged, I think it was $10 cost on each of those items. So it sold for the price you see there, 101. And then I only charge $8.55 as my flat shipping on clothing items. I think it probably cost me about $14 to ship. So yeah, it's a nice piece. I expected it actually to sell a little faster because it's a fairly nice one, but it sold. Been selling a lot of jackets.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, I've been, like I said, listing like crazy, and it's always fun to see the stuff that sells fast. So this is one of my Colorado pickups, and I love it. It's like it says Jingle Bells 5K run. But it's got the big Coors on it, and then the back, it's what does it say on it? It's the Kilimanjaro Children's Hospital. Anyway, it's a long sleeve 80s t-shirt, and I sold it. I actually took an offer for $60.
Is it Mount Kilimanjaro? So there's like a 5K on Mount
No, I think that's
Kilimanjaro?
no. I think maybe it's like raising money for the Kilimanjaro Children's Hospital.
Okay.
That's what my guess would be.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably the case. Anyway, Jingle Bells 5K run. I'm assuming it was probably like a fundraiser.
It's cute.
But it's a cute t-shirt, but it's sold fast. And I wrote down $15, but like my average in Colorado, like I said, was like $12. Some stuff I bought for much less. This was definitely one that I probably paid less for.
This was probably an $8.
Maybe. But it sold super, super fast, and I was pretty excited about that. So next for you.
These I actually pulled from the bins, believe it or not. So these weigh like half a pound. So I probably paid $1 at the bins. They were here in Vegas. This was not a Colorado buy. This was a Vegas bins. And they sold for the price you see there. They were listed for about 2 weeks. They ran into my sale. So they
fancy
sold
pants.
They sold, you know what? If these had been a size large, I probably would have kept them because I love Johnny Was, but I'm cheap as shit. I don't pay retail. All I did one time.
Well, you did for that.
Talk about it.
We're
not going to talk about it, but I probably would have kept these because I really like the design. But they're a medium and love them. They're not fit in a medium.
Nice. Jody, I need you to shut your mouth right now.
Katy hates
white chocolate is not chocolate. Okay, white chocolate is not chocolate. So, and I'm all about the chocolate and peanut butter experience, particularly when it comes to Reese's holiday treats. All right, white chocolate is an abomination, and it is not chocolate. So that's what I have to say about that. Okay. Next up, I don't know if Laura is in the chat.
Oh my God, how cute is that?
Have we seen Laura in the chat?
I have not seen her.
So
she's probably buried in her storage locker doing
very possible. It's very probable.
Another Whatnot show.
So she had sent me some stuff. Well, she sent us a package of stuff, and some of the stuff was for Vikki and some was for me. And this was one of the things that she had sent to me. So I sold it for the full price you see there, $69.99. And I'm gonna have to say my cost at this point is $0 because I never gave her any money for it.
You're horrible.
I know. Well, because this is what happens. So Laura sends stuff. She sends like a package of stuff, and then
see, she's there. Me.
I think we agreed on like $30 or something like that. I think at one point she tried to say nothing, and then I tried to like get her PayPal information from her, which she wouldn't tell me because she's an asshole. And then she was just kind of like something when I'm in Vegas, tacos. But we never went to get tacos. So basically, I didn't pay anything for it, and I'm just a jerk because she's kind of weaselly like that, though. You try to like give money to her, and she makes it very difficult to do. Anyway, but it's a really cute shirt, and I sold it for $69.99. So pretty good deal. Great ROI on $0, right, Laura? Anyway,
Katy's horrible.
I love the shirt though, but it's kind of her fault. Because she will not give me any payment information. Maybe I'll have to get it from Teresa. I know she has some info on her.
I've sent her money before. I have her info.
All right.
I'll give it to you.
She made it very difficult. All right, next for you.
So this is just for me my annual post to make sure that if you find these while you're sourcing, and if you find them inexpensively, buy them. It doesn't matter the brand. Cashmere, black cashmere overcoats, men's, women's, doesn't matter. This is the time of the year they sell. It's a classic. It's always going to sell. You want cashmere, not necessarily just wool. Those are kind of boring, and you can find cheap wool, and cheap wool doesn't feel nice. But long wool or cashmere or wool and cashmere blend, or just cashmere, long black jackets, whether it's for a man or a woman, it's going to sell. Okay, so this is not a great brand. It's a size 8, and it's a petite. And it's Albert Nippon, which is a higher end department store brand, but resale value, meh, not so great. However, I think I paid $2 for this at an estate sale.
Nice.
And it sold for $101, the price you see there. So always, 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 I didn't show you this because it's anything fancy or fantastic, but I'm showing you this to make sure you keep your eyes out. Look in the overcoat section. Look for men's, look for women's. Black classic cashmere overcoats are always going to sell.
Yeah. What about peacoats? Do those still sell?
They do. Peacoats always sell too if they're made well.
I do want to give a shout out to Deb. It sounds like she made it safely off the boat. We earlier received video footage of her. Would you call it driving a boat, steering a boat? I don't know. She's out on a boat. It was just her and Mel. And apparently they were having difficulties reading the map, so we weren't sure if she was ever going to come back to land.
We figured it was going to be a Gilligan's Island type.
I know. So it sounds like she made it back to land. So we're glad to hear that that they made it. They survived. Okay. Next up, I got this Bum Equipment sweatshirt. I actually haven't had this one for very long, maybe a month or so. And I sold it for the full price you see there, $97.99. Bum is one of those things where, I mean, sometimes it's like, I feel like maybe it's coming back a little or something because
there's more interest.
Past, I've had some trouble selling it. And then now it seems like it's doing a lot better, but it was funny because I sold this and I maybe paid like $15 for it. And I sold it for $97.99. And then literally like the same day I have a Bum Equipment hoodie, I think. And somebody sent me a message. It's listed for the same price. And somebody sent me a message. And it just drives me crazy when they send you a message with an offer. And it's like, just freaking use the offer process. And they were like, oh, will you take $20 ship for this? And I'm like, no, I will not. Actually, my response was, LOL, no. Because I like to respond like that. And then they responded with, well, how about 25? And then I just ignored them because, come on, you're ridiculous.
Go away. I had somebody offer me, so I have a couple of low priced items like on Macari that I'm trying to blow out. They're same low price everywhere, but like stuff that you have that a bad buy, right? We all do them. So I think I had something there for like $20 free ship, and it's a sweater. And they were like, would you take 15? I'm like, so what you want me to do is give you this, sweater that's going to cost me at least $10 to ship because it's not going to fit in a padded flat rate. It's going to cost me at least $10 to ship it, plus pay the fees. How about it? Would you like me to just have, a free pizza delivered to you too? Like that was my response. I was a complete bitch about it.
I prefer just saying LOL no and then ignoring them because
I'm like, shut up.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But
so then I blocked them.
Anyway, this was my sale. All right. What you got here?
So this is one that I wanted to talk about. Always look for like vintage calculators. The older, the better. This I actually paid $15, I believe, at an estate sale. They did have a pretty high price on it. I think it was $30, and then I went on 50% off day, so I paid $15. But it also didn't have a battery that worked. So what I did was I went on eBay and purchased a replacement battery.
Look at you.
And the battery cost me $10 delivered. So I spent like a full $25 on this, but it sold very quickly and the battery worked. Had the battery not worked, or I could have returned it because I did check. They did have a return policy. But the battery worked, so I was able to show that it actually works. So I sold it in my sale for the $116.96. I have $25 into it. It was an international sale, so I actually made $10 on the shipping as well because I think it went to like France. I've been selling a lot to France lately, France and Greece.
Interesting.
Strangely enough.
Very strange. All right, next up for me, I don't really buy a lot of jackets
anymore. You haven't bought jackets in forever.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know. This is at least more than a year probably since I got this one.
Well, more than a year.
So I do have a couple closets full of jackets, but anyway, I think I sent out offers for $100, but I did sell for $100. I think it was an offer I'd sent out. So I sold for $100. I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I doubt I paid more than like $10 for it. I think I got this at a thrift store, honestly. But I wouldn't have paid a bunch for a jacket like this. But sold it for $100, but it's like a good Gore-Tex parka. So, it's definitely worth the money. I don't buy this stuff anymore. So I was very happy. I love it when I sell something like this for a good amount. That's like something I don't even like source anymore. because I almost feel like it's just
It's like free money
in the pocket.
Yeah.
Even though whatever, I paid for it. I wrote it off years ago, people.
Yep. Hey, Funky, Daryl's in the house.
What's up, Daryl?
Daryl's coming to our reception.
She is.
I'm very excited.
All right.
So this is not that this is like some fantastic sale, but what I wanted to show is that keep an eye out for when stuff goes on clearance after Christmas. Okay. So we happened to be at the grocery store, I think 2 weeks after Christmas last year, the local Smith's near us. And these were on sale for $15 a piece. I bought all of them that they had left.
Of them, right?
I bought like 6 or 7 of them. And this was my last one to sell. And they've all sold for at least that price. Now, I put right in the listing that I just slap a label right on it. I tape it, slap a label on it. I'm not putting it in another box. It's not a collector's item. It's a freaking blow-up mold. Some people worry too much about that type of delivery, and you don't need to, okay? If someone bought this from Amazon, there would be a label slapped on it, right? So I bought them for like $15 a piece, and they cost anywhere from $12 to like $20 to ship. I use UPS Ground. This one actually went to Puerto Rico, but the person sent me a message first and wanted to ask if I was going to ship it to Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico, let's face it, UPS and FedEx don't go to Puerto Rico. So you have to figure that into your pricing. And I appreciate the fact that the seller, that the buyer asked, because it's very hard to exclude, and I don't want to exclude Hawaii and Puerto Rico. But in any case, they purchased from Puerto Rico. I was able to ship it parcel post. And it was like $24 parcel post. It was still worth it because they bought it at the sale price, didn't make a lower offer. So it sold for $120. I had $15 into it. It did cost me $22 to ship. But again, that was the last of them. I paid $15 a piece for these, and I've sold 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah, if you've got the space, just pay attention to like your local grocery stores. They always have the section where they have a bunch of Christmas stuff. And these get marked down big time. I mean, I don't know how much were they. I think originally they were maybe $50 or something.
I think it was maybe $50 originally. It wasn't even that, but I just know that, you know, the closer you get to Christmas, the harder these things are to find because every store, whether it's Walmart or Big Lots or Target or whatever, they get limited numbers of seasonal items, and seasonal means once it's gone, it's gone. So when somebody really wants something, they're going to pay for it. Now, in this case, it might have been because nobody ships large items to Puerto Rico. Yeah. That might be why I sold it.
Yep. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Next up, I have this Beverly Hills High sweatshirt. I thought this sweatshirt was really cool because it's from the 90s. It's you can see the Russell Athletics. See how it's got
class
the
of
eagle
58.
head there.
Who's famous?
It's class of, yeah. So it's class of 58. And so of course I went through when I found it. I went through it. I'm looking at all the. I think I looked up online like class of 58 to see who was of note that graduated. And I saw it was Nora Ephron, and so I made sure to get the picture of her name on there. You know, if Nora Ephron, she like directed a bunch of chick flicks, right? So like Sleepless in Seattle, I think.
Yeah. She's a writer. Here. She's a writer. Yeah.
Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, or she wrote them, directed some of them. Anyway. And so I was like, there's got to be somebody out there who's going to think this is cool to get this sweatshirt. And so I've had it for a little while, but I sent an offer out for $100 and somebody took it. So I sold this for $100 just because it's got some people's names on it, whatever. I paid maybe $15 for it, but just a cool, interesting little piece. And
that is interesting.
Yeah. Beverly Hills High, class of 58.
So some of you that follow me or are friends with me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram probably have already seen this, but I wanted to talk about this. So those of you that watch our channel regularly have probably heard us talk about Katy's grandma, Grandma Donna. Grandma Donna passed away earlier this year, but Katy has often referred to her as the OG flipper. She used to take her sourcing and garage sailing and to thrift stores her whole life. And she really loved what we do. Grandma was 90, almost 94 and when she passed away, and she was with it until the very end. So we went to visit her, or this is actually when Katy helped her move last summer. Every time we would go visit her, she wanted to hear all about what we sold, all the really fun stuff. And this was one of the things that Grandma gave her for me to sell. She would like to, because Katy doesn't sell women's clothing, right? But Grandma has been a collector of stuff her whole life. Well, the story is that she told me specifically is her brother brought this back for her.
Uncle Leland.
Sometime in the 30s. It was brand new, late 30s. Gave it to her when she was a child, and it hung in a closet and moved with her whole life. She's never worn it. So this was dead stock 1930s. Now I had now Chimeo is a popular brand and will sell on its own. I could have easily gotten $600 for this very quickly. The fact that I kept it at a very high price was because of who it came from, and especially after she passed away, I wasn't looking to sell it very quickly. So we actually, I'd gotten several offers from this one gentleman, and he was not willing to sell it for, buy it for what I had it listed for. And we finally settled on this price this week, and he paid over $1,000 for it, and it's happily off in its new home somewhere in California. So
I'm really sad it's not in our house anymore. I do have to say,
but I have a feeling that this was grandma's wedding gift to us. So,
All right. So I'm excited to see what you buy me with the money.
Our wedding reception. Anyway, you do know that if grandma were still alive, you would have been getting a check for about $1,000, because that's the way that she was. She would always send you a check, or like.
That's true. Oh, so you're saying you're just going to give me the money. Awesome. Yay. Anyway,
I thought it was really great. Oh, so Lori just posted her mom passed away Monday.
Oh no.
eBay and Etsy both allow fur coats. Everywhere you can sell a fur coat anyway. Actually, it just depends on the type of fur. If it's like ocelot or something like that, there are certain furs, or seal. There are certain furs that are that you're unable to sell. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message, Lori. But I am sorry for your loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, R.I.P. to Grandma Donna. She was the coolest, the sassiest, the snarkiest.
She was so funny.
Yes, she would judge you, but she would also love you.
She was very judgy. She'd be like, have you put on a little bit of weight?
She was I always say she was the most judgmental, accepting person ever, because she always accepted me for who I am, but she also would let me know if I've had too many breakfast sausages.
Yeah.
So anyway, love my grandma, and yeah, I'm definitely sad to see this have gone, but I'm glad that it's probably going to somebody who's
she has given me some very fun things to sell over the past few years, and this there was another jacket that I sold for I think around $700 or $800 that she had given to me too.
Yeah.
That she was just a collector of very nicely made vintage and antique items. It was just what she liked.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next up, this is another piece that I bought in Colorado, and you guys have seen me sell this kind of stuff before. I'm always going to pick up these. I call them surfer t-shirts. This one actually says Laguna on it. That's the brand. But these kind of like abstract, striped, kind of bright colored, interesting looking shirts. I always grab them, and they always sell for decent prices. I just listed this at the beginning of this week, and it sold. It was on sale for $62.99. And I paid like maybe $15 for it back in Colorado. But yeah, don't ever pass these up. Like, I know some people might be like, oh, well, I don't really know. Like, how do you comp something like that? This stuff always sells. Seriously.
And it sells pretty fast for you.
Yeah, it does. And this one, I think this one's especially a cool one.
Yeah, it's cool colors.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Next up for you.
So this is not that this is a spectacular sale. This is something I wanted to talk about, that I've been selling quite a few of these lately. So this actually sold for the price you see there at $37.46, but my buyer paid Priority International for some odd reason. They paid like $50 to ship it. What I wanted to say is these are the type of things that you can find super cheap at garage sales, at the bins, whatever. Most people don't want to grab plain blanks. I sell a lot of blanks, and this is one of them. So this was maybe a bins find. I think this might have come for free. I think you actually gave this to me out of a big bulk buy that you did.
Probably. And
you didn't want to list it. So, I mean, I paid either $1 for it or nothing for it. And I made an extra $15 or so on the shipping. So vintage blank, 100% cotton sweatshirts and t-shirts sell.
It's true.
So it's like
sweatshirt. I feel like blank sweatshirts sell better than even the blank t-shirts.
They do. But like, yes. And a lot of people, like Sunny says, I like the blanks. It's a blank canvas to me, and you can customize it. That's absolutely right. A lot of companies are doing, putting like newer screen prints or things on vintage clothing. And I like that. Yeah. See, vintage iron-ons, I'm picking peaches. Exactly. That's what a lot of people do. Yeah. So make sure that you can, don't pass them up if you get them cheap enough. I'm not saying spend up. I wouldn't spend $10 or $15 for blanks, but I would absolutely spend $1 or $2.
Yeah, for sure.
They sell every time.
Robin, that Laguna surfer tee was definitely part of my goal listings for the week, which I did some more listing yesterday. So I went over 100 listings in this week, which is the most I've listed in a very long time. So I was pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, you know what, Lori, we absolutely genuinely care. It's, it's losing a parent or a grandparent is probably, I don't even know what to say. We've all lost people that we love in our lives. And I think losing parents and losing grandparents are that's own special type of loss where,
it's like you're losing your childhood.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And before we start crying, let's move on.
Okay, next up for me, this is another one that I listed this week and another one that I got in Colorado. And this one I probably only spent $8 on. It sold for the $62.99. I love shirts like this. And this one in particular, I think the design is really cool. It's very simple, last of the big time splendors. Montana. I don't know. Maybe this one is because isn't Yellowstone is filmed in is like set in Montana, right? So maybe that's why it sold so quickly, but it sold very quickly. And then today I got a message from somebody on Mercari, and they were like, "Hey, you had this Montana T-shirt. I thought I had saved it, and now I can't find it." And so I was like, "Oh, I already sold it on another platform." And they were like, "Oh, that's a bummer." So there was definitely a lot of interest. So you might look at this shirt and be like, "Oh, that's really simple and really boring." But I think
it's the vintage colors. It's the 70s, 80s, like sunset looking colors. I think
But this is like a very small shirt, and yet it sold very quickly, and I made some great money on it. And it's just it's a very cool shirt. Great colors. Next up for you. All
right. So those of you that sell dolls or had dolls when you were young, depending on your age, you're going to be familiar with Chatty Cathy, right? So Chatty Cathy is a pretty common doll. I mean, you can look at this. I got this doll from the bins. She looks like total garbage, right? I mean, she's dirty. Her hair's a hot mess. I did do a very quick scrub down on her, and I said that very clearly in the title. I used to spend hours fixing hair and scrubbing dolls and making sure they were perfect. And what I've realized, what I have realized is that unless it's a very specific doll, you are not going to get that investment returned on your time. So I no longer do that. Now, that being said, this particular doll, she doesn't have her voice box. It doesn't work anymore, which is very common for Chatty Cathy's. But she is one of the original earlier molds from 1960. And she has the very dark red hair, the auburn Titian dark red hair, which is one of the more rare colors. So that being said, I knew that I could easily get anywhere from $60 to $100 for her. And I was right. It sold today. It was listed about 2 weeks. Sold for $75 yesterday. Sold yesterday for on eBay. So I got this at the bins. Probably paid.
This is Etsy.
Yeah, sorry, on Etsy. Probably paid $3 or $4 for it.
Nice.
So
very good.
I will scrub and clean a doll if it's say a 1960s, Barbie. If it's a Barbie 1, 2, 3, or 4, or if it's a Bubblehead Barbie. Things like that. I will absolutely take time to set the hair and make sure the outfits are clean and clean the doll, check the green air, all that kind of stuff. If it's a specific type of doll, I will do that. But for a doll that's for $50 to $75, you are not going to increase your price by the new collector is going to do all that.
Yeah. And they're probably going to enjoy doing all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, I have this 90s reverse weave hoodie. It isn't even Champion. It's the MVP brand. And you could call it damaged. Like somebody cut the whole front. You can see it's cut right here. I don't care. I still listed it for a high price and sold it for $89.99. So, and you can see this is the
pocket's torn.
Pocket is coming, and I just closed all that. You can see the pocket coming undone on one side, and it doesn't really matter. It's still, the stuff still sells, but you can see, for anyone who doesn't know what I mean when I say reverse weave, you can see that there's a side panel. It's a vertical weave here and a horizontal weave here. That's what that means when you hear reverse weave.
I think reverse weave is a term that is patented to Champion. Trademark to Champion. That's the word.
But that's what it means.
Yeah, but that's what it means. And it's okay to use reverse weave because a lot of different sweatshirt companies use it. But when you find it from Champion, it's worth even better. So
Yeah, but $90 for what some people would look at as a damaged
everything I
piece of
sell.
clothing.
Ithaca College there's not a ton of it out there, but when you do find it, it always sells. There are certain collegiate wear that sells very quickly. Some of it is just everywhere, so it's not going to sell as quickly. But those that are not as prolific with their stuff absolutely sells.
Yeah. And it's that classic, heather gray, and it just has a very timeless look.
I bought a whole lot of, I think, 25 or 30 sweatshirts from a bulk seller that were all vintage college sweatshirts, alumni vintage wear, as Sunny says.
Yeah, Champion Tags will say reverse weave because they have the trademark on that, so it doesn't say reverse weave on this, but it's the same thing.
Yeah,
it is what it is. All right.
So this I've had for quite a while. Like this one came from the clothing vault.
Yep.
List Perfectly's the balance of List Perfectly stock when I acquired all their stock. So it's been 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it sold for $75. The
Nice.
price you see there. I haven't shipped it yet because it sold yesterday or the day before. But yeah, $75, and it has issues, and it's just a vintage 80s baseball bomber. I think it's funny if you can show my bad shop review there.
Oh, how dare you?
Yeah, it was vintage Pendleton that was titled as frayed and destroyed, and I got my 1 star. So I like to be a snarky jerk, but it was exactly as described. I'm like, oh, you're welcome for getting exactly what you purchased.
Well, yeah, somebody gave me a bad review. Well, they gave me 3 stars because there was paint on the shirt that they bought, but the paint that I photographed and described. Literally photographed and disclosed, and it's just like, why?
I'm sorry that I gave you exactly what is in the listing.
Joiks. Anyway, all right. Next up, another Beverly Hills piece here. This is Beverly Hills Brewery, and this shirt was just like thrashed and super worn. It's got holes, and it's got this coloring
pit
on
stains.
Yeah, and you can see it's just very worn. And this is also something I listed this week, Robin, in case you're wondering, and also something that came from Colorado. But I listed it sold like within a day. Somebody made me an offer. It was actually somebody in Australia on Grailed. And they didn't just buy this. They bought 5 t-shirts altogether for a total of $254. And that on Grailed, when you're talking about offers, shipping is included in the price. So even if you have like a shipping add-on, so for $254, I sent 5 t-shirts, and the other 4 shirts were this was probably the coolest piece that they got out of it. The other 4 shirts were just kind of mediocre shirts that I had for quite a while. So I was happy to make $254. Mm-hmm. And what was very exciting is because they were vintage, they were pretty lightweight. So all 5 shirts were under 2 pounds. And for those of you who are familiar with shipping internationally, when you ship first class is anything 4 pounds and under, and on pirate ship using the simple export rate, anything basically up to 2 pounds is like kind of the same price. And so having it be under 2 pounds meant it only cost me like $18 with insurance to ship it all to this guy in Australia. And so I was pretty stoked about it. But I think this is a really cool shirt. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe I paid $8 to $10 for it. And was pretty happy for this flip.
So this is one, I think I talked about it last week or maybe the week before in last week we didn't have a show, but week before or the week before that as far as hauls. But I wanted to, again, make note of the fact that I don't always pick up men's blazers because men's blazers, and just like women's blazers, are slower sellers. I will pick them up if they are certain designers. And this happens to be one of the ones that I will always pick up. So anything that is Western looking, like, H-Bar-C or Circle K, mm-hmm. or Pagano. There are certain brands that are Western. When it's a Western yoke blazer, they sell very quickly. It's a very popular look, whether it's vintage or current. These are vintage from the 70s. 70s in general, I'm going to tell you, is because you can tell by the buttons. If you go back to the button picture, Katy.
Yes.
whenever you have buttons that look like they're woven, whether they're leather or wood, and they have that woven look to them, you can almost always guarantee that it's a 70s garment, maybe even very early 80s, but almost always 70s. It's a very distinctive 70s thing. So this sold for the price you see there for $105. And I maybe $5 invested in this.
Nice.
Pioneer Wear. Thank you, Danica. That's another brand I always buy. So that kind of stuff sells really well.
Nice. All right, last one for me on Grilled. I sold.
That's a great shirt.
Oscar Mayer. It's a great shirt, but I will say there's quite a few of them out there. It's not like super rare. So I was really happy to sell it for $77. This is when I had gotten in that big dead stock bulk buy. So I paid $20 for this, sold it for $77, and I was very happy with that flip. But it is a great shirt. I love the graphic on it. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right, let's go ahead and make us a big screen.
Hello.
And let's do our haul. I mean, we don't have a ton of stuff to share, but we got some cool stuff.
I did want to say hi to Sunny and to Mikey that popped in later. Thanks for popping in, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our local friends who are also, if you follow them on anyone that's met them at the Remix, obviously, I mean, it's kind of hard to not know Mikey and Sunny at this point, but you should be following them on Instagram and on YouTube. Also, the Instagram Reseller Cartel, I believe it is their joint Instagram page. Danny, the niche lady, has just purchased a thrift store, and she has a bunch of sellers that are going to be selling in there, almost like an antique mall, but a thrift store. And Mikey and Sunny have their own little section there as well, where they're going to be selling their wares. So they're I would be following the shenanigans, because there are sure to be some shenanigans that come out of that.
Always.
And also I think Tiffany Thrifting Vegas is also going to be selling there. So I think that's like 4 people that are very prolific on the YouTube here in Las Vegas, all going to be selling out of one building. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun.
It is somewhere in. I don't know exactly where the location
Mikey,
is.
you want to tell us?
Mikey can give the location, or I'm sure Danny will give it when it's ready. I haven't seen it. I'm
Maybe
not sure
just tell us
exactly
what. Like what area of Vegas?
Is it like southwest, northwest? I don't know. I don't know where it is, but I think it's fun.
Anyway, so you went to the bins.
I went to the bins twice.
Did you send most of it off with Crystal already?
No. I was very good about I sent some stuff off from last week.
Okay,
I did not send everything off from yesterday. Yeah, I have some stuff to show.
Okay. What'd you get?
Well, first, this one's not from the bins. I actually purchased this from Julie. You will hear me, downtown Julie Brown, or Effin' Julie, as I call her. I try to support our friends when they sell on Whatnot. I've tried to purchase at least one thing from everyone when I can. I know that I haven't gotten to everybody yet, but I will when I can. But this is something I purchased from Julie's Whatnot show. This is probably
so cute.
It's the cutest little vintage. It's like a little. It's supposed to be like a little blow mold, like it's a light, but the light doesn't work, unfortunately, and I can't fix it.
I wonder if it's just that you need to
replace
the bulbs.
It could be. So this is a vintage little Santa on a mushroom. I mean, come on now, this does not get more kitschy, right?
Right.
So I did spend quite a bit on this. I did spend $49 delivered on
Worth
this.
it.
But I freaking love it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to sell it somewhere in the $100 to $125 range.
Yeah, it's so freaking cool.
There are some people that sell them, too cheaply, but there are also others that sell them for over $100. And I think that it's over $100. Yeah, I love it. I think it's adorable.
I'll see if I can get it to, let me see it. I'll play around with the lights, because I think, first of all, I think it's just regular Christmas bulbs. So I think that
it's super cute. And by the way, it was Julie's birthday yesterday. So yeah, happy belated birthday to our friend Effin' Julie. So let's see. That was one thing. That was probably, and again, you guys know me, I'm cheap. I don't pay up.
I love it.
I had to have that. It's not something that I would display myself, because I don't have a vintage Christmas room yet. But you never know. I might price it really high so that nobody buys it, and then it does end up in a vintage Christmas room of my own.
So Mikey did say that it's, where is it? Decatur and Vegas Drive-ish.
Okay, so it's not too far from us. It's a little further north.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like how you just pretended like you know where stuff is.
Well,
go ahead.
Okay, so this is something I picked up at the bins. This is actually a German model kit. It's in German, and it's a German tankard from the 39 to 45. So it's a World War II tanker. It's a little mashed up, but I opened it up and it is
brand new. All the pieces are
it's brand new and everything's still all sealed in it. It's not very heavy. It probably weighs between 1 and 2 pounds. So I'm not going to go and buy anything that's not sealed, but you can tell like all the pieces are still sealed. So I paid maybe $4 for it at the bins, and this should sell for $50 to $60.
Cool.
Plus shipping. I'll charge shipping. Let's see. Everything that I'm going to show you today has come from the bins, I think. Except for that thing that I
look at you.
Yeah. So our bins prices increased. So our bins prices are $1.89 a pound now here in Vegas. But whatever. I mean, it's getting
still
a little too
worth
rich.
It.
A little too rich for my blood.
I don't think so.
But anyway, I did grab this. This is a vintage UNLV Spirit shirt. So long sleeves. It's got the spread on the sleeves. It's not single stitch, but it is thick and heavy. And this is like silver. And raised,
silver glittery,
and it actually is. It's from like the company Spirit that does Spirit, Spirit wear. So this one is going to be, I'll probably list it for like $60 or so.
Good deal. Good deal.
I don't buy a lot of UNLV stuff, but when it's vintage, I will.
I remember in my day when I would go to the bins, it was like $1.29 a pound unless you bought 25 pounds or over, and then it went down to 99 cents a pound.
Yeah. So Sunny, I sell a lot of those San Marcos blankets, so that was you got a good price for it. Actually, Robin, who's in the chat, had one sitting in her death pile forever that I gave her some advice on pricing and stuff. And Robin, if you want to put in the chat what you sold it for within like a week.
Ridiculous.
A week?
Ridiculous, you guys.
Okay, so let's see.
Next.
This actually came from the bins, even though it has a Goodwill price tag on it. So this was not a direct donation item, but this is vintage 70s. And the elastic on this is kind of gone. I don't know if it ever actually had a good elastic waist, but because of the way that it's made, it doesn't really need the elastic in it. It's just a straight maxi skirt. Vintage 70s. In like this kind of drip wax, muted watercolor pattern. This maybe cost about $1. I think I'll list this for about $75.
Yeah, Robin sold hers for $170.
Yeah, nice. $170 plus shipping, and they paid like $75 shipping. She's in Florida, and they purchased, and they live in California, and I think she can ship it for like $35.
That's awesome.
That was a really good quick sale.
Mm-hmm.
This actually came from the bins this week. This is a vintage 1950s petticoat skirt. Now, what's nice about this is that it's multi-layer. It's probably 3 or 4 layers, so that's something you put in there. But it also is the soft nylon multi-layer with the lace. Now, those of us that wear vintage clothing or like that vintage look in general, we all know that most of the dresses look better with a petticoat for women. And the ones that you buy that are modern, and a lot of others in general, tend to be that super stiff crinoline. It's like basically made out of tulle or crinoline. So they're stiff and scratchy. This is a much nicer, softer. It's not crinoline, Lori. That's actually the thing. It's nylon, which is what's nice about it. It's multi-layer nylon, very pretty. So I will list this probably for, and again, it's like light. So I probably will list this for between $75 and $100. Nice. And I bet it sells on Etsy. That's my guess. Is it going to sell on Etsy or it's going to sell on Thrilling? This I think you pay 10 cents or 25 cents for a magazine at the bins. This is not in the best condition. It does have a crease on the cover, but I'm not somebody that goes and scans books or anything either. There are a few people that do that at our bins, and God bless them. It's not my thing. But this particular issue with Rihanna on the cover has sold in the past for $70 to $75, all in the past 3 to 4 weeks. There are a few listed for like $15. And I have a feeling those people don't ship internationally because the ones that are selling in the $70 range and selling internationally. So Yeah, that's the magazine that guy did try to take out of my buggy.
Ooh.
and Jody I wasn't even over there, but Jody almost threw elbows for me. So I appreciate that because I would have. But yeah, so it's not like it's got a crease in it. I don't know that, but whatever. I pay 25 cents. So it will definitely sell for something, even if it's like 40 or 50 bucks.
I have yelled at somebody before for taking something out of my cart.
I have.
Goodwill bins.
Yeah, a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago when I went, it might have been the day I was with Jody. Yeah, it was the day I was with Jody. I almost ended up like knocking out some girl who was there with her 17 kids and pushed up in front of our carts and not leaving. And like, I said something and she's like, well, I've got to leave now because this lady's driving me crazy. I go, keep it up, bitch. Keep it up. And that was, she turned around and she said, oh, I will. I said, yeah, right in front of your kids. Come at me. I'm not that person. Well, I am that person. I shouldn't say that. Anyway. It's rude. People are rude.
Continue.
So got this at the bins as well.
Ooh, the magic school bus.
And I don't know what I paid. Less than $1 anyway. So, vintage, VHS, the magic school bus. This particular one will probably sell 40 or 50 bucks as well.
Nice.
Would I pay $1 maybe? This one, Jody grabbed for me in the bins because she's fast. We saw the bin come out. I knew I wanted it. But so it was filthy. And there's a reason why nobody else wanted it because it was filthy.
Did you wash it?
Yes, it's been washed. Okay. It's been washed. It's been cleaned. It's just a vintage tree skirt. It's a quilted tree skirt. It was filthy. It's all clean now. There's no more stains. With Santa Claus, it's pretty. It's probably from the 80s. The tag is faded. You can't really read it, but it's somebody has this priced at like this exact one. I've only found one. They have it priced at like $175. They're not going to get $175. However, I do think I can get 50 or 60 for it. You got to use the right, words, vintage, 80s, quilted, ruffle, poinsettia, all that kind of stuff. But it has Santa, it has cardinals, woodland creature type things.
Woodland creatures.
Anyway, paid like $2 for it. It came clean. I love that tree skirt. This is the time of the year that you're going to want to sell that type of stuff. Vintage Christmas is hot. Doesn't matter if you're on Whatnot, Poshmark, Etsy, eBay, whatever. Vintage Christmas, anything is hot. Nostalgia sells, and especially this time of year. Vintage
I feel like
toys
any time
and
of year,
vintage
that's
Christmas. Weird. Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah, apparently you got her a $400 purse.
Oh, I did? I didn't even know that. Woohoo!
She didn't do it on purpose.
Give it back. I'm just kidding. This is another one that I picked up at the bins. This one is not as nice, but this is like Jody would rock that tree skirt as a skirt. That's true. She totally would. Jody would probably rock this as a skirt as well. So this is just vintage Disney store 90s, big felt, but like they're 3D. Pooh and Eeyore and Piglet.
It's cute.
I actually have the matching Christmas stocking to this that I've had since the 90s. That was my own. I actually used to really like Winnie the Pooh. So it might be the year to get rid of that. But this also there's quite a few listed. So this one will probably go for about 50 or so. And I bet it, won't go on eBay. We'll see though.
We'll see.
Let's see. Jody, don't tempt me. It's true. It's true. She would. So I was just talking about blank sweatshirts, right? Vintage blank sweatshirts. Grab this one from the bins. It has not been washed yet, but this is vintage, made in the USA, 100% cotton. It's a 2X, and it's black, and it's heavy, and it's like vintage 80s, 90s. So, it's not faded. It looks like it's faded with the light, the way the light's hitting it, but it's not. It's a good, even black. It's not faded. I'll probably sell it for 50 or 60 bucks, and it cost me less than $2. So keep an eye on that kind of thing. I'm going to keep going because I only have like 5 left, and then Katy can do hers. I don't remember if I showed these from the Colorado haul. I hope I have not. If I have, just ignore me for the next 5 minutes. But these are vintage 80s, made in the USA, OP, Ocean Pacific.
Love
big,
it.
baggy, like harem pants. So made in the USA tag. The color is a little bit washed out.
I love it.
But they're neon pink and orange.
Yeah, those are cool.
The only defect, I just listed these this week. The only defect is that there's a little white mark right there, but it's not dirt. I don't know what it is. But anyway, these are women. So they're kind of small, but they're fun. So I think these came from the ARC, which means I paid $3 to $4 for them. And they're going to, I have them listed for like 75.
I had an Ocean Pacific t-shirt I just listed that's got a skateboarding cat on it, and it's from like 1986. And somebody messaged me on Mercari and was like, isn't Ocean Pacific a Walmart or Target brand? And I just ignored them. I didn't respond because I know that they're saying like, why are you overpricing this? And I wanted to punch them in the face.
I was just reading Turtle's. So I don't know if either of you are wearing a gown. Well, I'm wearing a gown. Katy clearly is not. Katy is wearing a custom suit, and I have a custom gown. But that actually would be great to have it made into a skirt, into a tree skirt, to look at it all the time. That's actually a good idea. Wait till you see what our favors are and things like that, because those of you that know me know how much I love Christmas. As far as our favors and things, we don't have a guest book to sign. We have some stuff that has to do with the fact that I love Christmas. You'll see. Okay. These also were picked up in Colorado. In fact, they may have been dead stock. I'm not entirely sure, but they're definitely vintage drawstring. Look at these. Look at these.
Amazing.
They're like parachute, the crack.
Crack.
I had to check it, and I was like, did somebody just write that on there? What is that? Like, crack is whack, yo. But they did not. They're supposed to be like that. So like the parachute pants that look like they belong in a TLC video, they're purple and yellow and teal. And these could be men's or women's. So awesome. I think I have them listed in men's because they're kind of big. But look how fun they are. They're very like fun. Crisscross will make you jump. Like, I totally feel like somebody
never again.
Shut up. Let's see. I have just a few more. I was also with Jody when I grabbed these out of the bin. She actually grabbed them and handed them to me. These look to be handmade. They are kind of like that Peruvian / like West Coast art, that embroidered. I think that goes this way. Yeah. They're awesome. Pillows. They're actually the hand embroidered. They're really nice. I'm going to sell these. I don't know for how much. Again, like I got them at the bin, so $3, $4. But they're vintage, and they appear to be handmade. They could be mass produced. I could be wrong, but there are no tags on them, and it looks like they're hand stitched actually, and not machine stitched even. So
I love them.
If I don't find the exact ones, thank you, Mola. I do know that. I just didn't have the word off the top of my head. But I just think they're really pretty and colorful, and they have a matching like red back on them. So I really don't know what I'm going to list them for, but in my mind, I'm thinking like $75.
All right.
Let's see. 3 more things. This also came from the bins. This is actually vintage 1970s based on the tag and the construction. So I've got this faux fur. Danica, this has your name all over it, actually. I think you have something similar because this makes me think of you.
So it's like that Barbara Streisand "What's Up, Doc" hat.
Yeah, it's like a faux fur leopard, kind of like this. Not quite newsboy. I don't know what this is called. I'm gonna have to look. Kind of like at this newsboy cap thing. Very, very cute. So I don't know what I'm gonna list this for, but again, this actually has Danica's name on it. I feel like Danica has this or should wear this. But it is a Danica core hat. But I'm probably going to list this for like the $65 range, and it came from the bin, so like $50. Yeah, 50 cents, 75 cents.
Well, this is the hat that I was thinking of. It's not leopard, but it's like that style.
Yeah, that's exactly the style.
It's from the 70s.
Yeah. So 2 more things to show, and then I'm done, and I'll pass the torch to Katy. This has been washed. This was also filthy. This came from the bins. So again, because of weight, I probably paid $4 to $5. But this is a, vintage. This is full size. Yep. 1980s. Look how cute. Little
Very
girl,
cute.
Looney Tunes, Tweety, Sylvester, Taz. That's all. Oh, Bugs Bunny's on here too. It's pastel. It's cute. It's been washed and cleaned. It's in good shape. It's a little bit pilly, so it clearly was, used and worn. But
Lori, it wasn't Yentl. It's What's Up, Doc. Check it out. It's a really, really fun Peter Bogdanovich movie from the 70s.
And this is the last thing I'm going to show. This also came from the bins. It is in sorry shape for sure. However, I said that just for Allison. Sorry.
Sorry.
It is a vintage handmade quilt. It has some damage. The edges have started to wear, and there's a couple of pieces of fabric that are ruined. But people buy quilts for repair. I'm a little unsure of the date of this, to be honest with you. My best guess is 50s. Based on the backing fabric being a very kind of 50s style kids.
I don't know what's happening with these creatures. It's like they're kind of like bears, but then they're squirrels.
They're bears and rabbits. Yeah. So that looks a lot like 50s baby type of fabric. So I do think.
Hey, look, we have somebody else watching us from Australia.
Oh, hey.
Allison, maybe you could go hang out with Selena.
Hi, Selena from Australia. We used to have one Australian woman, Dottie, that used to watch us for years and commented on everything. And then COVID happened and she kind of disappeared. And I hope to God nothing happened to her and she just stopped watching us. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, Allison says they say sorry in Australia too.
There you go.
All right. Guess what I've got, guys?
Selena says she's in Queensland.
Guess what I've got, guys?
I don't know. Could it be t-shirts?
T-shirts. So most of the stuff I have to show is from my Colorado haul, but I have a couple of other pieces. I got a message on Instagram so Greg, who is he was now my mind's gone blank, valet picker. I had bought some stuff from him. I think he's in Massachusetts. I had bought stuff from him a couple of years ago, and his Instagram is called something else, but he has a YouTube, the valet picker. And anyway, he messaged me. He was like, hey, I have this shirt. I know I sold you one similar to it a couple of years ago and it actually is the exact same shirt. It's kind of funny because I don't ever delete my listings on Etsy. And so when something sells, it's still there, which is great because then I can just steal basically the exact same listing. So I was able to find it as the same listing I had before. But he's like, hey, do you want this shirt for $20 shipped? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he put it in the mail the same day. But it's just an awesome all over print whale shirt. I love it. A nice big XL size.
It's got a couple spots on it, but it almost feels dead stock. It's crispy.
Yeah, it's not dead stock, but it's beautiful. And look, it's got the map, it's got the world map on it.
Have you washed it already?
I don't think I washed it.
You're gonna need to.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
I'm just telling you.
Okay, I got it. You showed them to me. Anyway, look at all the whales, guys. Look at all the whales. They're really cool.
Whale core.
Anyway,
so I wanted to acknowledge in the chat, by the way, flannel. Lori says flannel back is like 50s or 60s. Yeah, and it's not flannel back. It feels like flannel, but it's not flannel. It's just a soft cotton, like a brushed cotton. But so I agree. I think that the quilt is probably 50s. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
All right. Next up, I actually paid up a little bit for this, but I had some credits. On my Whatnot. So Callie was doing a vintage t-shirt sale, band t-shirt sale on the Whatnot under the Raleigh Roots account. And I couldn't pass up Susie and the Banshees, guys. So this is from the 90s. It's on a...
Speaking of, that was a trivia question the other day, and I got it right.
Yep, she did. I don't know why this camera's so blown out. Anyway, Fruit of the Loom.
We'll have to get it. We need to get a better camera when it comes to in another, at some point. I
keep
forgetting to do it.
Part of the problem, though, I think, is the color of the walls. So it's I don't know that another camera.
So can one of our mods get that weird troll in there?
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
before we get,
I got it.
All right, all these gross links.
I got it. Anyway, yeah, this is actually, it might even be dead stock, but I think I paid $38 for it or something like that. I'll sell it for $100. It's not a crazy deal, but it's Susie the Banshees. I can't just
cool.
Let Susie the Banshees go. Okay. So
I was pretty happy that I got that as an answer to the question. I was feeling pretty cool. Because I've never been a fan. I don't know her music. I don't know their music.
So this is a piece that I picked up in Colorado, and I think this is when I got from that big private buy. I bought 100 t-shirts. So I was kind of going through quick, and I was just grabbing stuff. I have a pretty good feel for what I want, what I don't want. And this was an all over print. It says big tool. It's got all these tools on it.
Oh, that's obnoxious.
I wasn't really paying attention, and it's actually a home improvement shirt. like I didn't realize even when I grabbed it that it was home improvement. But anyway, it was fun. So it's not like a crazy deal. I don't think I paid much for it. I think I paid maybe like 15, 20 bucks for it. They'll probably sell it for like 60, 75. I think I have it listed for 100. But I'm always going to want to pick up the all over print t-shirts.
All of the all over
print t-shirts. This is, I don't even know what this is from. When I tried to look it up, the only thing I could find is another one of these t-shirts, only it was like a black
Apparently
one.
It belonged to somebody that lived in a hospital or nursing home because their name was written in the collar. So
I know, right? Anyway, it says it's Robin Hood versus King Arthur. It's from 1991. So I couldn't really find anything out about it. It says color
Atlantic Design,
Color War.
Yeah,
it says Color War 1991. No idea what this is. If this was like an event, it might have been like an event because it says Color War 1991. No clue, but it's really cool looking. I like it. So I got it. And I don't, again, maybe, like I said, everything from Colorado, my average cost was $12.
Greg, pop-up video. Seriously, I can hear it in my head. Pop-up video. I can hear like Laura was like, core memory unlock. It's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Summer camps have
definitely
color
could have been a summer camp. So this next one, I always pick up. This has been a new thing because it's only been in the last year that I found like a handful of stuff like this. But every time I buy something that has anything to do with like a hairstylist or hairdresser, it sells. It sells like really fast.
Those are super cool with like the neon.
Yeah, it's like kind of neon, a little bit puffy.
Yeah, it's neon puffy, yellow, green, and then like a neon orange. But I like this one right here. It's like the wave hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's like such a 80s iconic looking.
But it says it says multiple personalities. Your hairstylist can help. And it's on
That's funny.
This Screen Stars tag. So it's either early 90s or late 80s. But it's just a great shirt, great colors. And like I said, like the last couple of hairstylist t-shirts, sweatshirts that I've gotten have sold very
Greg
quickly.
is trying to get and unlock all the core memories, the shooting rainbow star with the more you know, or like the end of the G.I. Joe cartoon had that, and then it would be like, and knowing is half the battle. That's stuck
right.
in my head too.
That's right. Another trivia question we had to do with the Indy 500 race. The question was, which one has been around longer, Indy 500 or Daytona 500? And Britt had got this right with the Indy 500.
Over 100 years, the Indy 500.
Well, and then look at the shirt. It says this is the 71st Indy 500 in 1987. So, but I also really love the design on this shirt. I think it's got a really cool graphic. This one, I've already have this listed, but I probably have it listed for 70, I think is what I've listed for. And when with the hope of it getting like 500 or more. So, all right, next up is this Mr. Goodbar, Hershey Mr. Goodbar t-shirt. It says,
isn't that a movie too? Searching for Mr. Goodbar or something like that?
I have no idea. A nuttier bar for nuttier times.
Greg would know.
And this is on like says Skimmers. I've never seen this tag before, but it's like an 80s tag. But just a really soft
looking for
poly
Mr.
cotton
Goodbar,
blend.
searching for Mr. Goodbar. I know that's the name of a movie.
I don't know.
See? Thank you, Greg. Yes, I knew he would know.
Yeah.
Greg is a font of useless information, just like me. Looking for Mr. Goodbar.
There you go.
Searching, looking. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
See? Patty knows too.
Patty knows. Anyway, this is a nice big size. Really, really feel how soft it is. This is clean.
That is a soft one.
It's very nice.
She has to tell me this is clean. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to touch the dirty ones. We all know that. She always puts the dirty, smelly ones right near my face while we're doing the show. It makes me want to vomit.
I think I put this one up for 70 as well.
Did you say 500? No, she did not sell the shirt for $500
No.
or buy it for.
No, it's the Indy 500.
Indy 500.
I have not sold it. I listed it for 70. This is a great shirt right here. Also from Colorado. Vote for Bugs. It's Bugs Bunny. I like the elect Bugs. A carrot in every pot. A carrot in every pot. That's what you'll get.
That's funny.
It's on the Acme tag. It's dated 1991. And
Greg, would the trivia judges give you searching? No. The trivia judge that we had just this past Thursday was very strict, actually. one word off or some spellings off, and they wouldn't even give it. There were a couple things
the
that were
thing,
tough.
the one that they were tough on is somebody basically put two, like you can't put, they had the right answer, but then they added something else, and they're basically like, you can't have multiple answers on the same thing, because it was that one that I don't know how we wouldn't have gotten it.
It wasn't us, but yeah,
us.
they're pretty strict.
Pretty strict.
So get your trivia knowledge on, Greg, because you need to be a part of our trivia crew on Thursdays or Wednesdays when we go.
Now I love this shirt right here. This one is just thrashed. It's absolutely thrashed. It's very, very, very soft. So this
one is soft. I like the soft ones.
This is actually from an Atari game for the Atari 2600 called Solar Storm. But it's a Solar Storm Survivor.
Ooh.
So this is like an early 80s video
geek
arcade game
shirt
by the company iMagic. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's super thin.
I would even wear that. See, I like the soft t-shirts, and I actually, now that I've had my surgery, I actually like wearing t-shirts. I like to wear them under things, right? And if they've got like cool, sayings on them, that so much better.
So this one, I think I listed for like 150. But I don't think I paid much for it. I think I had it for like maybe $15. What was the question that we were like, if Greg was there, he would have gotten it?
It was a Duran Duran question.
Was it Duran Duran?
Yes. No, it was a U2 question. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a U2
It was a U2 question. They had
It was Bono
first,
and the Edge's real names.
Yeah, they were like, what is the names that these two people are otherwise known as? And they had their real first and last names, which none of us knew. And it was Bono and the Edge.
It ended up being Bono and the Edge.
You totally would have had that.
I think we guessed like Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, none of us knew. Five people, none of us knew that answer, but you would have known it.
Okay, so this is, I always get No Fear stuff. It always sells. And this one says, life's a game, pick a uniform. And it's got football, hockey, and schoolgirl uniform. And then it's on the No Fear tag, made in the US. And it's nice big size. I think I have this priced it at $70 as well.
Yeah, we know that you would have gotten it because all you would have had to hear is one of them. And even if you didn't know Bono's, you would have been like, oh, it's going to be Bono's name. But we didn't, we're not big U2 fans. None of us were, actually.
I don't like U2
So
at all,
Danica, just so you know, you are more than welcome to join us anytime that you come out here for trivia.
For the trivia.
We would love to have you. I can tell you right now, we're definitely not doing trivia the week of our wedding.
No.
We have too many people in town. But any other time, you're more than welcome, honey.
Yeah. All right. Next up is this awesome all over print American flag t-shirt. And this is from the 1993 We Shall Be Free pop concert. I have no idea what that is.
We shall be free.
But this is
that song.
Well, that's like a Garth Brooks song, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a Garth Brooks song, I think.
But this is like pop concert. So I don't know. I don't know, but
I haven't looked it up yet.
But it's awesome because it's like an American flag, guys. Come on. But I think I put this up for 100. Hoping to get 75 to 100 for it. And again,
America.
Average price was $12.
Did you look up the concert? Like, who was in it?
Well, yeah, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't really find anything. So I was like, whatever. I'm only gonna spend so much time on it.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't like Live Aid. It was exactly what I was going to say.
Like Live Aid. All right, this one's got some stains on it, but this is cool. It's BMW, and I always sell BMW stuff well. But it's also it says Boston chapter BMW CCA Parker Spooner Memorial Ice Race from 1991. So some sort of ice race, but it's BMW
Ice Race Memorial, sponsored by BMW. I guess maybe. I don't know.
It's Parker Spooner. Okay, so clearly there was somebody named Parker Spooner who died. So it's a memorial race.
I got it. I understand what it was.
I know what you said, ice race, but anyway, whatever, guys. But it's BMW, so, and that always sells well, whatever it is. It's kind of obscure and weird, so it'll probably sell even better. So there you go. I got two more left. One of them I have a question for you guys. I'm gonna do some crowdsourcing here.
Crowdsourcing.
But this is Sold My Soul to Rock and Roll. I don't think I showed this one to Paul in Colorado.
No.
But this is from 1986. It is Opus, Bloom County Opus. It's really cute. I love it.
Bloom County stuff sells really well.
The Stedman tag.
Shirts, sweatshirts, even the stuffed animals.
Well, this one's awesome. Look at this.
This is Opus and Bill the Cat. Those are the characters that are popular. But yeah, they're fun.
I like he has a toilet plunger for a guitar.
So if you're in our age group, you probably read that comic like I did. I always read that comic. It was in the Sunday comics, but it was It was kind of it was highbrow for a comic, if that makes sense. It was smart and it was political and it was.
I just read it because it was in the Sunday.
It wasn't a
comics,
comic that I don't think the kids got a lot of those comics. A lot of the comics were for adults.
I just read all of the comics in the Sunday comics, so
yeah.
By default, so this one is absolutely just a destroyed, like just destroyed. Look at this, just
that's totally destroyed.
Like armpit holes.
It looks like that somebody paid to have it done like that.
But I think I looked very briefly, but then I stopped because I was doing something else. So this is dated 1987. Okay, so this is from 1987, which tracks what's
very soft
with the construction of it and everything. But it says Red Planet Mining Company, established 2001, Port of Seattle, and then the little ship says Zogati. So I haven't done any real research on this.
I feel like it's got to be from like a movie or something.
Right. I did a very brief Google search, but then I got distracted. So
it says 2001, which is supposed to be like in the future.
Established 2001, but
That's
then
funny.
It's the actual, and plus the construction of the shirt. It's obviously an 80s shirt, but it does say 1987 on it. So I don't know if anybody out there knows off the top of their head. Feel free to comment in the chat, or if you're watching this,
ripped armpit.
I know it's destroyed.
It really is destroyed.
But
fun, though.
Yeah, and it's a cool graphic. But if anybody knows, you want to put in the comments down below after this show's over. Let me know if you know anything about this. Red Planet Mining Company, established 2001. Because like I thought maybe like what's that movie? Total Recall. I thought maybe something with Total Recall. I don't know.
Something futuristic. It might even be like a Stephen King.
Because what year did Total Recall come out? I mean, it's definitely 80s.
Late 80s, I think. Maybe as late as 90 or 91.
No, it's definitely 1990. 1990. Okay. And see, this says 87. So
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not Total Recall then.
I don't know, guys. Anyway, let me know. I want to price it high, man. But it's destroyed, trashed, thrashed, abused. But I want to save it. Anyway,
all right. That's all we got.
Yeah. Dana got 3 boobs. She's just giggling at the 3 boobs in Total Recall. I love that movie. It's a great movie. Anyway, I believe I think Total Recall is Paul Verhoeven, isn't it? Of Showgirls fame. So probably not surprising that there's 3 boobs in it. But still a fantastic movie. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap
all of
things
you.
up here.
Tuning in for the last 90 minutes. We're definitely going to be doing a show next Sunday as well. So we will not be doing one the day after our wedding. So just so you know, December 17th is our wedding. December 18th, there will be no show. There may not be one the week after either. We'll let you know in advance. But we'll definitely have one next Sunday. And yeah, let us know if you have any questions or comments in the notes below. That's I got.
What are we doing after this?
Oh, well, we're going to Red Rock Casino because my casino host. Yes, I'm that person. But because our casino host actually comped us $400 at a very fancy steak restaurant that we're going to go to, and we have a comp room. So we're going to stay at the casino. So
I'm going to eat a giant bloody steak, and I'm going to love it. A giant overpriced bloody steak that I don't have to pay for.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited because here's the thing. Like, we like to go travel. We like to go and do stuff. We like to go out to eat and whatnot. But I will tell you that Katy and I are both very cheap when it comes to restaurants. We'll go to a mediocre or decent mid-priced restaurant all day long, but neither one of us are super foodies. So
I'm sorry, I'm a super foodie. But
we love food, but we don't want to spend the money to go to like, I don't know, any restaurant where it's $200, $300, $400 for 2 people.
There's a limit.
That's
it's
like excessive.
When we were younger, when I was younger, it's like when money's tight, it's like it's a lot of money. Just even spending $50 at the restaurant's a lot. Now we're at the point where it's like, okay, if we want to splurge a little bit, like we're willing to spend over $100 at a restaurant.
Yeah.
But when we go to Red Rock, so Yard House, it's a chain. They have this amazing Korean ribeye that's so good. It's like 40,
she loves.
Yeah, I love it. It's like $40, but that to me that's like a reasonable ribeye price. And I remember looking at this. It's T-Bone's Steakhouse. I went and looked at their prices, and like their ribeye is like $100. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm never spending that much on a freaking ribeye steak. So when she found out she could get a restaurant comp, I'm like, you gotta find out if we can go to T-Bones. Cause I'm like, I want to go. I just don't want to spend the money to go there. So I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm definitely a foodie.
I mean, the steaks are at least $100. It's a little bit crazy, which fine. I'm cool.
I was trying to convince her to go in with me on the tomahawk ribeye, but it's like $168. But we want to be able to actually get some sides and stuff.
I want to be able to actually. I don't know if it seems like it's kind of a waste.
What? How do you get a discount at the Yard
Because
House?
It's the same family as Capital Grill.
Oh, all right, Jody.
It's the same restaurant family.
We got to go so I can get me. I want to get seriously the Korean. For any of you guys who have a Yard House and you like Korean spices and flavorings, the Korean ribeye steak is so good, so good. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up here. Moving stuff around here. Anyway, anything else you would like to say?
No, that's it. Everybody have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving. For those of you that are celebrating, we're going to a friend's house. I used to do an orphan's Thanksgiving here in town. And maybe I'll pick it up again next year, but it's just a little too much to do that with the wedding as well. And we stopped it a couple of years ago. So we go to a friend's house, takes all the stress out of it. It's kind of nice. But I used to do a Thanksgiving for like 30, 35 people. Now I'm not doing that, but we do have 75 people coming to our reception, and that's being catered because I'm not an idiot. I'm certainly not going to try to cook or do potluck for a wedding reception. So yeah.
But I am going to make some boozy cranberries to take on Thursday.
You are, yeah.
Vodka soaked.
Oh, well, you know what, Jody? Good luck at work on Thanksgiving. I hope you are tipped very well, as you should be, for anybody that has to work. And have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.